This is a clip from the Ontological Rabbit Hole. You can see the full-length episode, which this comes from, in the Google Cards system, which is the little circle with the little eye in it, and you click it and then the thing comes out and then you've got a thumbnail of the video.
So, if anybody's nervous, and there always is a few people that are nervous, I'm going to suggest to you that you can avoid this process by simply ignoring my instructions for the next 3 minutes. For the rest of you,
what's it like to be hypnotized or to be a hypnotist? Well, with direct experience of both, I should be able to tell you. My own experience of being hypnotized was one where I was doing as directed and not really expecting it to work. It all seemed rather normal and just doing things that didn't seem to make very much sense, right up until the point where I started to realize that it was actually affecting me. And that was really interesting. I would say some of the best hypnotic techniques and suggestion and persuasion that I've seen have been absolutely fascinating to watch. From my own sort of internal subjective perspective, I've been there and people have been going through the motions of a particular technique or method, and I've just sat there and I've just noticed my own perceptions changing, or the way that I feel about the situation changing, and I'm just sort of looking there in the background of my consciousness just going, huh, you just did that, that's quite clever, how did you... Oh, right. That's how I picked up some of the techniques. So what's it like to be hypnotized? Well, I imagine most people will use a technique of deep relaxation and focus. If you've ever meditated, there are crossovers. They're not identical, but they're very similar in terms of state. If you're a person, you know what it's like to be hypnotized. And I only say that in a jovial way, but if you've walked to the store and 2 minutes in, you don't remember exactly how you got to the place you are right now, you were just sort of lost in thought and there you are. If you know, the notion of doing something on autopilot, right? What's it like to be hypnotized? Well, I think what we're really asking with that question is, what is it like when somebody else seems to have an authority in your mind that you're not used to? It's strange. I mean, I didn't freak out because I didn't necessarily assume that this person was able to do anything they pleased, and I was watching what they were doing. On the extremes of my experience, I've had someone be able to redefine what my sense of reality was to a point where I was aware of, let's say, normal reality, for want of a better phrase, and I was aware of the reality that they were trying to create, and the two existed for a little while completely simultaneously, sort of on top of each other, but discernible as separate things. That was bizarre. But I did experience this alternative reality that the hypnotist had control over. And because I don't trust very easily, if I'm just completely honest. I'll trust to a point, but I don't trust 100% with people. I'm a 1 foot on the ground kind of guy. Not in all situations and with all people, but particularly in this situation I was. I very much got the sense that I could have psychologically have let go, and then I would have been in a reality that was being defined by somebody else. And it was just as real as this reality. That's the thing that people don't appreciate. The feelings, the perceptions, the things that you see, the things that you hear, the things that you feel, all these things can be defined by somebody else, and they will seem completely real to you. And I think that's the thing that really blows people away with hypnosis. So what's it like to be a hypnotist? Well, I would say that first it's quite a lot of hard work, because you just feel like you're doing lots of stupid things and you're not really expecting it to work, and after a while you start to see some signs of success, and if you keep at it further than that, it starts to become second nature, and the more confidence you get, the better you are at doing it. I think the strangest thing for me to report as a hypnotist is that I often feel like I'm going into a trance with the person I'm trying to hypnotize if it gets quite intense. It's almost like we both end up in some other mental state and of extreme focus, and I'm the one guiding, and they're the one sort of passively accepting the creation that I'm coming up with. It's perhaps not surprising that I almost feel like I'm going into a trance with them, because to really hypnotize somebody, particularly if they're a little bit resistant to suggestion, it takes an enormous amount of mental energy, and you have to focus and really concentrate on what you're trying to achieve. It's a very interesting experience.